well, thanks for joining us once again here at smallcapvoice.com, where we are excited to welcome back Lloyd Spencer of CarbonMeta Technologies. CarbonMeta Tech, traded under the ticker symbol COWI, was with us just a month ago. You could see on the press wire using that ticker symbol that we did a video going through some of the recent news as well with Muhammad Khalil, who visited us on that opportunity. Today, we're speaking directly with Lloyd because the company was able to get its annual filing done. Lots of great things to talk about there, but right off the top, what jumped out to me, Lloyd, was the improvement in your balance sheet. But you're here, so let's hear it from you.
No problem. Thank you very much. Yeah, so last year was a year for getting things set up for operations. And as the viewers will see, looking at our annual report, we got our offices set up. We have very modest R&D set up over in Everett, and we've been collecting plastics. And as well, in Oxford, we've been working on getting that first setup for generating carbon nanotubes. And it's taken a little while longer than I expected. But as well, I've been setting up facilities also over in Chicago and also in Washington State to basically get things ready. And we're now in the process of actually generating these carbon nanotubes. One of the biggest obstacles, or one of the challenges, I guess, is getting enough of the catalyst ready. So that's taken a little while longer than I expected, getting the facilities ready and things like that. So in the process of doing that, though, what you'll see also is that we ended up getting a small effort going to look at how we can take some of the existing plastics and make them work for 3D printing. That was another initiative where we got started. And that's been going rather well. There have been I think some very positive things that have come out recently with even some 3D printer companies who they use, I'll call it granules of plastic directly instead of using filaments. So we're talking with companies like that, and perhaps we can actually use some of the recycled plastics we have today and to feed them into these kind of systems. So we're looking at that next. And then finally on the cementless pavers, again, it took a little while to build the relationship with Salvum and also to start doing our first prototypes and tests. So we've been doing that in parallel. And that's beginning to return some good opportunities. And I won't talk about those opportunities today, but very soon I'll be talking about what the size of those opportunities, which are quite large, and how what we see as a larger opportunity than we expected. So I'm very pleased about that.
Well, you have
to your point
about that. Yeah. We've spoken with yourself and really kind of the same theme from Muhammad Khalil in our last interview, which was, wow, I wasn't quite prepared for the response in Saudi Arabia and the UK.
Right.
Lots to be done here for the company. And it does show in the annual filing. I know you mentioned that, not frustration, but a little bit of surprise at the length of time to get things facilitated. But seeing your assets improve, seeing your current liabilities go down, seeing your long-term liabilities go down, and convertible debt going down, these are all huge for a company your size.
Yeah, they really are. And I will say that removing the debt obligation we had with YA Global made a very big difference. It was a very long liability. It was all the way from 2007, I think it was. And so that was finally addressed. And that made a very big difference with the investors. So as a result, when we've been putting together this S1, which we will be getting done in the coming weeks, I was able to bring on some investors to help me out on that. And in the process of doing that, we will end up having an equity line facility available to us, so we can bring down some cash when we need that to go build a business. But your point is very well taken. Our accounts payable went down by $2 million, which was great. And as well, on the convertible debt, we went from $4.5 million down to $1.9 million. I'm also working with some other of the old convertible debt that's out there. I already have one vendor, one note holder that we've already come to agreement on. So I'll be getting that completed in this quarter right now, and we see others that are going to come to fruition the same way. So I think what we'll see in the coming quarter is we will see some revenues coming into the company, in part through the carbon nanotube effort, in part through the paver business, because those opportunities are coming to fruition now. And as well, we will continue to see the debt go down even further. So really, I think one of the other positive things about removing out these convertible notes is the what do you call it? The liability, the derivative liability went down precipitously. So when you look at the bottom line, the total liabilities went from $40 million down to $25 million. And that was in part due to the derivative liability, which is related to the notes. So all in all, you are right. It was a very positive picture on the balance sheet. In the coming quarter, I'm expecting to bring forth a positive note on the revenues as well. So that's going to be, I think, a nice change of pace.
So this quarter, or this report, the annual report, focus on the balance sheet. Next time, we'll look a little bit more like the income statement will be improving as well with that revenue forthcoming. And that's what we were talking about with Mohammed Khalil, is that paver business. And you talked at the outset about the 3D printer business as well, making headlines, some good, some bad with the 3D printer. Of course, we're looking as a government at these ghost weapons being made with them, but there's so much good that can come from this, and you are in such a sweet spot for that. Moving forward in this quarter, operationally speaking, what are some of your goals?
So some of the goals are going to be that we're going to be moving into a lab space over in Seattle, and we'll be working on developing the catalyst. I'm already working with our group in Chicago, where we will be doing the carbon nanotube production and the hydrogen production as well. So we'll be doing the measurements on that. The interest in hydrogen has been growing. I've been receiving more feedback and requests on realistically how much hydrogen can you generate out of this. And I will have some numbers that I can share that we've been working with one article writer right now, where at the metric ton level, how many metric tons of hydrogen can you get from number of metric tons of plastic. And so we've been working with them on producing those very numbers, and it's very positive, I have to say. So from the outset, when we were putting together this business plan with Peter Edwards over at Oxford, it was always about how we can put together a complete portfolio of products we can bring out of this. So we had obviously looked at hydrogen, which was in high demand in Europe, and now I think more so in the United States than it even was maybe a year ago. And then as well, the carbon nanotubes, but even now graphite. I'm seeing a additional demand for graphite as well, and that's one of the products that comes out of this effort as well. And those are all being used in electric vehicle batteries. So I'm fully expecting that we will have a reasonably diverse revenue stream coming out of this plastics business. I think the 3D printing part of it will evolve, and we will see whether it's going to be the filament business that is where you make your money, or whether it's actually producing these granules that can be used directly in 3D printers, which we're finding there's some new vendors on. And with the pavers, it certainly caught me by surprise, even on the size of some of these projects. We have two projects in the wings now, one in California and one over in I'll call it Montana, Nebraska area, and they're rather large. They're larger than I expected. So I look forward to bringing news of that on our next video.
Well, very good. Well, listeners, once again, we're speaking with Lloyd Spencer. He is the CEO of CarbonMeta Technologies, ticker symbol COWI. Learn more about the company at CarbonMetaTech.com, CarbonMetaTech.com. Lloyd, as always, an absolute pleasure speaking with you. We appreciate your time that you make for us. You mentioned being caught by surprise by the positive response to your pavers. I hope none of our viewers and our listeners are caught by surprise by the story of CarbonMeta Tech. Take a look at this company, add them to your watch list, keep a close eye on the filings and the press wire, and you can find everything you need to do your due diligence on this company available to you at smallcapvoice.com. Lloyd, thanks for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, for Lloyd Spencer, this is Stuart Smith of smallcapvoice.com saying thanks so much for tuning in.